Hi, welcome to another edition of Soto Desperado plays, not Star Wars, Ark Survival Ascended, ASA. Got a couple of videos lined up real quick. Just doing the next batch of eggs here. Looking for 470 or better. Let's see if we can get that started. First up is Anton Daniels. Trump supporters are stupid, privileged, adopted Asian woman doesn't respect white parent migrants.
And I'm adopted, so both my parents voted for Trump, and I'm adopted, so both my parents are white, and I also have a Chinese sister who's also adopted, and I'm going to tell you guys what their viewpoint of all of this is. I was just telling my mom how Trump is doing this mass deportation, and I'm telling her that people who are citizens, veterans, are getting accused of being illegal aliens. And she's saying, and her defense is that, oh, well, he's trying to get rid of the people who are raping and killing people, as if our citizens don't do that already, and what are we doing about that? The common misconception is that these Trump supporters are stupid, which I don't fully disagree with, but my parents are smart. My mom used to work for the government, and she used to work on radar defense systems, and my dad used to be a tech consultant.
Alright, give me a second. Trump supporters are stupid, which she don't disagree with. They are deporting and targeting people that are veterans and mistaking them for illegal migrants. What? Okay, listen. I always like to give credit to the content creator. You know that, so I have to lead with that. So that link will be down in the description. Also, on top of that, make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. And in addition to that, I am going to replay this in its entirety in one full clip so that we can get the full context. But my initial reaction to this is that this is the reason why I believe that young people, maybe shouldn't vote, right? I think that voting maybe should be reserved for people above the age of 30. And that doesn't mean that people above the age of 30 is not ignorant also. But how disrespectful, how unappreciative. It's almost like being a step-parent. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like you've brought somebody into the greatest space in the greatest country in the world. You could have not even been here. Who's to say that your parents even wanted you? And that's one of the reasons why y'all adopted in the first place, you and your sibling. But you've had very supportive parents who clearly are not racist or prejudiced. Bring you up, bring you in. You look like you got on a Van Cleef necklace, so you're very well taken care of with your furs and all of this stuff. And you are talking as though you have any real understanding. Your parents were super successful, work for the government, and all of this stuff. And this is just in a small 1-minute segment. Before I get to it, before I deep dive into it, and to people that are unappreciative and that speak out of ignorance instead of speaking out of logic, let's play it in its entirety. And then we're going to break it down, and I'll give y'all my thoughts, and then y'all can let me know what y'all think inside of the comments. So let's rock.
Just a young kid.
My parents voted for Trump, and I'm adopted, so both my parents are white, and I also have a Chinese sister who's also adopted, and I'm going to tell you guys what their viewpoint of all of this is. I was just telling my mom how Trump is doing this mass deportation, and I'm telling her that people who are citizens, veterans, are getting accused of being illegal aliens. And she's saying, and her defense is that, oh, well, he's trying to get rid of the people who are raping and killing people, as if our citizens don't do that already, and what are we doing about that? The common misconception is that these Trump supporters are stupid, which I don't fully disagree with, but my parents are smart. My mom used to work for the government, and she used to work on radar defense systems, and my dad used to be a tech consultant for healthcare companies. My mom is also involved in the stock market. Now you're probably wondering, why would they vote for a orange man that hates their children, right? I don't have the answer for that. My family and I, we don't talk politics, and my sister's to the point where she wants to move out the country, which I don't blame her. It's honestly very weird growing up with white parents during this time, and with Trump now being in office. Anytime I tell them anything that's going on, they don't believe me, or they just don't want to have the conversation. My sister and I have been trying to tell my mom what he's been doing with the abortions, and she's like basically telling us that, well, would you rather have money and be set for life, or worry about stuff like that? Being an Asian American and being adopted by white people, I don't want to bash my parents. They're amazing people. They'll fight for my rights any day, but I just don't think they realize the extent of like the freedom we're losing with this man being in office.
What?
I'm not gonna lie, my Coinbase account has been going up since he's been the office, but that's like the only good thing that's been going on, and I know that that's rooted in deep capitalism and the 9-to-5 people who can't even afford a 1-bedroom apartment.
What?
I don't do these type of videos. I've never really spoken out about political issues. Like, this is my first TikTok account, and I don't really post on Instagram as well, but I just wanted to come on here to show you guys that although I love my parents, you know, people with adopted children from other countries, they're still blinded, unfortunately, and this is just the relationship that I'm gonna have with my parents, and they're in their 70s, you know, they're not gonna change their mind. People don't change at this point of their life, so...
And this is important. This is one of the reasons why I would never adopt, why I would never take on somebody else's children. You have a hard enough time, I believe, as a parent, trying to make sure that your kid is not affected by what they deal with in school and in culture and all of this stuff. But then on top of that, to add seasoning into it, you then get people that are unappreciative of what's going on inside of the culture and the real truth. And the real truth is that Trump does not hate people that are of a different ethnicity. He does not care for people that take advantage of Americans because we are Americans first. And that's the difference. You know, all of this orange man and, you know, Republicans and Trump supporters are ignorant and all of that other type of stuff. It just shows while she's sitting there with her fur coat on and her Van Cleef and her American parents who have really, really leveraged their privilege and working very hard to make sure that they raise them up. All they did was raise up raging liberals. They raised up raging liberals. What I think should happen is that her and her sister should both move out of America and go back to where they came from, and then let them experience what communism and socialism really looks like. Let them experience what censorship really looks like. Let them see what hate really looks like. Let them see what, you know, low wages and raging against capitalism while American workers and 9-to-5ers, you know, let them experience it. That's the thing, man. You know, either you're going to give it to them young by not allowing for them to be so privileged to where they don't learn the lessons and fail in controlled environments so that they're not moving spoiled and acting like little brats, or you're going to be raising up pouty mouth, whining people who truly didn't even appreciate the fact that, you know, they didn't even have to be here. They didn't even have to be in this situation. I'm very thankful. I mean, I work hard. We all work hard as hell, most of us, at least the people I think that follow me. But I am very thankful that I am born in America, that, you know, my parents came up from Dawson, Georgia, or my father's father came up from Dawson, Georgia, and brought him up. And, you know, that we are blessed enough to really be able to take advantage of, which I don't take for granted at all. And that's why I work my ass off. And I love my country. And I appreciate police officers and the soldiers that serve this country. And I even respect the opinions of people that don't think like me, that are American citizens, as long as they're able to substantiate their argument and is not running in the victim Olympics. I think that, you know, this country is the greatest country on earth, and it's unfortunate that a lot of people truly don't understand the opportunity that's before them, and that's why everybody trying to come into this country, um, you know, and they don't want to be deported. But the fact of the matter is, it's a lot of spoiled liberals out here. And you may be conservative, but if you don't make sure that you put it in them young, and maybe they just don't have it in them because they always gonna revert back to whatever it was that they was raised to be from their culture or what's inherently in them. But it's unfortunate that you have a young ignorant girl on this app that's so privileged, and they talking about moving out of the move. I think that anybody that does not want to be here, you should catch you a one-way ticket and make sure you try to get citizenship in some other country so that you can become all that you want to be inside of that country. But I don't think that we need people with this type of mentality, and I respect differences, but I don't think that we should have people that don't want to be here. I think we should incentivize them to leave. That's my opinion. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Let me know what y'all think inside of the comments. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you later. Peace.
Yeah, I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head there. She is kind of ignorant of how bad it is. If she was in China, it's fucking horrible over there. You know, they're advanced, but at the same token, they're oppressive to their own people. It's a bunch of stuff they do to people over there that's not right. You know, shit, there's stuff that they do to people here in this fucking country that's not right too. I can even say that. I can go that far. It's not a perfect world. Doesn't matter what country you're from. But you would have to deal with that shit where you don't have a lot of socioeconomic freedom. You know, you can't just pick up and leave. Those people that lost their homes in the LA fires, they can pick up and leave. It'll cost them, you know, some money. But they can do that if they want to. You know, life's not over just because their houses got burnt down. Okay. Well, I got the next generation here, but I've got to the next mutation was what, 33? Yeah, 33 mutations. Melee is 907. So that's pretty damn good. Starting out at, I think it was 466 or something small like that. Okay. Yeah, I mean, she doesn't know what she's talking about. She's just shooting off her fucking mouth. That's all. She's beautiful. She's got parents that love her. My father left me when I was 2 years old with nothing. And my mother abused the living hell out of me because she was a feminist dick hater. Not a dictator, a dick hater. She hated anything with a dick. I'm sorry. But that's the truth about that woman. She hated men. And all I got from her was abuse and neglect and excuses. And, you know, she would blame me for shit I had nothing to do with. It was always my fucking fault because I had a dick. You know, she doesn't know what the fuck abuse is. She is privileged. And that's where Anton is absolutely correct as far as I could tell. Well, it looks like I got the mutation, but I have to go through the rest of the eggs to make sure I get them all. Oh, shit. That's a lot. Now, if I find a male with the mutation that I need, then I don't need the female that I got. And then that makes my life a lot easier as far as getting mutations because I just raised the male. But because I got a female, if I don't get the mutation I need as a male, or maybe I'll get another female, that would be good too because that increases your chances. You know, then I have to go ahead and, you know, breed the females until the mutation comes off of them. Let me play the next video. This one's from Taylor the Fiend. Good men will be shocked to know this about their wives and sex.
I've got an interesting video for you here today that was sent to me by quite a few of you, actually. It's by the Happy Wife School. I don't know what that's about. I haven't seen this channel before, but it's called Good Men Will Be Shocked to Know This About Their Wives and Bedroom Intimacy, keeping it safe for YouTube. So this woman's going to apparently drop some gems for us on what good men will be shocked by in their wives. Let's take a listen, guys. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments. If you're a dude who's married or been married, make sure to drop your perspectives as well. Let's jump into it.
If marital sex is all about trust, connection, and respect from the woman's perspective, how is it that a married woman can cut off sex with her husband, the father of their children, and then enter into an affair with a married man? So my heart goes out to this man, and that it's clear this is what he's experiencing. And it's a very difficult situation to be in.
Okay, so we have this guy who it seems like his wife cut off the intimacy from him, you know, and then what is she doing on the side? She's having an affair, she's seeing some other dude, and this guy is really struggling to reconcile this because, you know, women often always say, especially wives and things like this, well, the intimacy is all about connection, right? It's all about the bond that you have to the other person. So obviously this guy is super confused, and it doesn't really align when women go out here and have affairs, particularly with things like bad boys, man. Women will pull this crap all the time. They'll try and convince you that they're interested in personality and connection, and then they'll go sleep over, you know, they'll sleep with a dude who obviously has no interest in them, who rides motorcycles, and who is a complete a-hole, apparently. Funny how that works. But let's continue with the story here.
And so my heart goes out to this man, and that it's clear this is what he's experiencing. And it's a very difficult situation to be in. So in answering the question, this is the story we tell the world, that for us as women, sex is about trust, connection, and respect. That's a story, and it's a lie that good men don't know any better. And sex is a tool we use to get what we want as women.
Holy hell. I cannot believe a woman actually said this on camera, guys. I cannot believe it, because if I come on here
I shit my pants.
and I say the same thing, okay, then apparently I don't like women. You know, you've got a terrible relationship with your mother. you're an incel, all of the insults start to come out. If I come out here and say, well, women leverage intimacy against men to get what they want out of men, whether it be commitment or resources or validation, whatever the case may be, you know, if you say that, you don't like women. But here we have a woman who's saying, hey, listen, it's all a complete lie. Women absolutely leverage intimacy against men to extract things from them, to get something from them. And you see, this is the problem. This is why I think that women have such a large issue with men who walk away from dating, who walk away from marriage and stuff like this. The reason why women have such an issue with this is because these men are not being controlled, right? Like, how can you control a man with intimacy if he simply doesn't give a damn, you know? Or if the man has options. Let's run it back. I've never actually heard a woman say this on camera, so this is quite surprising.
And it's a lie that good men don't know any better. And sex is a tool we use to get what we want as women. And we will abandon our responsibilities, abandon our marriage, the man we say we love the most, and go run off with someone who has no connection or respect for us, and there's no trust there. So that's just a story. The reason we cut off sex is because we marry for the wrong reasons. We cut off sex because we got married to be taken care of, and the unrealistic expectation that our husbands are supposed to make us happy.
Yep. Couldn't agree more. So what you have, guys, is you have women going out here, and this is what I've been saying for such a long time on the channel, man. These women, they're going out here, they're marrying dudes not because they're attracted to them, you know, not because they love them, or because they're interested in sharing intimacy with that man, or oftentimes even, you know, committing properly to a family, or being a good wife, or being a good mother, or something like this. But the reason why women oftentimes are giving, you know, who are going into these marriages is because they need resources from the man. Okay? And this is why so many dudes get confused. Okay? They go out here, they get married, they get into long-term relationships and things like this, and the woman just cuts off the intimacy. It's because she's not attracted to the guy. Okay? She would go out there and she'd give intimacy to some random dude on a Tuesday that she met on a dating application, but she won't give intimacy to her husband. Like, how absolutely insane is that? And then women will sit there and they will try and gaslight these men. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice. You know, they'll try and gaslight these men by saying, oh, well, you know, you just don't make me feel heard, or I don't feel seen in the relationship, or whatever bullcrap they want to use, you know. And then they leverage intimacy against the dude. That's really what it comes down to.
Is because we marry for the wrong reasons. We cut off sex because we got married to be taken care of, and the unrealistic expectation that our husbands are supposed to make us happy. When men can't live up to our ridiculous expectations, standards, and the ever-moving goalposts of our demands, we cut off sex as a punishment and withholding from you because of the hurt we feel you are doing to us and our emotional delusion that we're so unhappy, and thinking you're the cause of our unhappiness when you're not.
Yeah, so what will happen, guys, is women will get into a marriage with a man that they're not attracted to. And because of this, right, she's, you know, this dude that she's now married is not the man that she got attention from when she was in her early 20s, right? He's not some giga chad. He's not some attractive dude who she met up with. He's not as exciting. He's not that much of as much of a bad boy, okay? And so obviously her husband, who's probably a stable, good man, who has some morals and things like this, he doesn't compare to this bad boy previously. And so the women feel like they're settling. Oh, well, you know, back in my early 20s, I got attention from this guy, and he made a lot more money, and he was way more attractive, and he was taller, and blah, 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 and so on. And so women think back to that time where they got attention from that man, and now they feel like they're settling with their current husband, which is absolutely insane, guys. And so when women feel like they're settling, they disrespect the guy. You know, they withdraw intimacy because he's not as exciting as the other man. She feels like she's settling. She feels insulted by the fact that she is now dealing with her, you know, peasant of a husband who she had to quote unquote settle with. Even though, by the way, he could be a great man, he could be a great father, he could have outstanding morals, he could have a great personality. Doesn't matter. And this is why, guys, you can't marry women who have been with a whole bunch of dudes. I don't think you can marry modern day women anyway, simply because of the marriage situation, but you see my point.
That we're so unhappy and thinking you're the cause of our unhappiness when you're not. This is another example of how a good man can't understand a woman and our wiring internally in this, because a good man would never ever do this in his marriage to his wife and would never have that level of cruelty and mean-spiritedness just randomly to his wife.
Yeah, see, I think it's very confusing to men initially, okay? But eventually, if they come into contact with this stuff enough, or, they watch my content, for example, or they watch other creators' content who cover similar things, they actually come to an understanding like, oh, this is pretty damn normal. When it happens to a guy the first time, he'll be confused. He'll be not understanding what's going on. He'll feel very hurt and things like this. But you talk to guys who have seen this stuff enough, man, and they're like, yep, this is a regular Wednesday. Yep, of course this happens. Yep, it's one big circle. They know exactly what's coming. They know exactly what it is. And unfortunately, I actually think a lot of the dudes who become quote-unquote bad boys are just men who have learned the game. Like, this stuff is really not surprising to me, man. Like, when a woman says that she leverages intimacy against her husband to get something, right? Or she leverages intimacy against men in order to get something. This is not surprising to me at all. The only thing that's surprising about it is the fact that a woman said it on camera. But to me, guys, this is like, I see this crap every single day. I've been pumping out videos lately. I've been doing 3 videos of this garbage a day, and I usually record a couple before gym and then one after gym before I go to bed. And that's the way it goes. I see this stuff all the time. Absolutely all the time. I think men do come to understand this stuff, unfortunately. It might take them a while, might take them a lot of pain, but eventually men see this stuff everywhere they look. It's getting way more common.
It's a shocking disbelief for a good man to grasp how selfish, cruel, and mean-spirited we can be as women. So all we focus on in the marriage is what we think you're doing wrong, that we believe is making us unhappy. So the trust, respect, and connection is gone. We killed it. We brutally murdered it with our woman ways and how we show up in our manipulative, emasculating, and gaslighting behaviors to make you feel that you are the problem. And then the hurt and the blame we have towards you for our miserableness. We can't see our own role and our own choices and our own behaviors that are making us unhappy. From that place, some married women will then have an affair because they feel you've let them down. They feel entitled and are extremely selfish to go find someone to fill that emptiness and make us happy.
Yep. And this is exactly why, guys, when women do this crap, they'll say, well, I wasn't happy, or I don't feel heard, and things like this, or we were just drifting separate ways, and they'll start to say a whole bunch of nonsense. Like that's really what it is like women will actively go out here and then just throw up some garbage reason when the actual reason was she feels like she deserves better. She feels like she's settling. She feels insulted that she even had to get with a man like this in the first place, guys. I've been saying this on the channel for quite some time, but here's the problem, okay? When you have women who go out there and hook up with a whole bunch of guys, they actually set that quality of man as their new benchmark. Okay, so for example, let's just say a woman goes out here and she hooks up with a dude who's, 6 foot, 6'4", right? 6'2", whatever. He makes a hell of a lot of money, got a really nice car, really nice apartment in the inner city or something like this, very highly attractive, muscular, and so on. And she's able to get intimacy from that guy a few times. She's never going to want to revert back to dating a quote-unquote average man. Okay, because what happens is now when that woman goes into a subsequent relationship or a subsequent marriage, she's going to be thinking back to that man that she previously spent time with. And she's going to, when she's with that new man, she's going to feel insulted. She's going to feel like crap. She's going to feel not happy. And the thing is, number one, it's not men's responsibility to make you happy. That's absolutely crazy. But number two, they can't do it anyway. That's really what it is, man. It's like women are trying to get men to fulfill an impossible task. Trying to make a modern woman happy is a complete waste of time.
Let them down. They feel entitled and are extremely selfish to go find someone to fill that emptiness and make us happy, which they won't be able to do it either. You want to watch Why Married Women Cheat under the live tab on the channel to get more of a more in-depth perspective to this. But some women will find a married man to have an affair with because he's miserable, often because of what his wife has done to him and her emasculation. And the woman that's after him is in her facade, so he thinks she's wonderful. And how could her husband treat her so poorly? She's so wonderful. And then they have an affair.
Yeah, and this is what women do to the outside spectators, I guess you would call them, is they try and convince everybody that they're the victim, So you might have this guy who's a great husband. He's got great morals. He's a great father, great dude all around. But the woman, what she'll do is she will try and convince people that he's somehow abusive, shall I say, right? Or that she'll try and convince people that she's the victim in some way, like he's some terrible man. He's a narcissist. I've heard this word floating around a lot. He's a covert narcissist and crap like this. And they'll just start throwing around these terms in order to justify their terrible behavior to other people and also to themselves, even though oftentimes the men haven't even done anything wrong, guys. I've seen dudes get completely ditched by women straight up abandoned, right? Dudes get abandoned by their wives, their long-term girlfriends, stuff like this. And then the woman will turn around and accuse that man of something that he never did. Or they'll accuse him of being the type of man who is quite awful. And I've probably known, there's been instances where I've known the dude longer than she has. And she's out here calling this guy awful. It's ridiculous, guys. And they leverage these sorts of things because they want people to believe that they are the victims, even though they're the ones perpetrating the awful act in the moment.
Treat her so poorly. She's so wonderful. And then they have an affair. And so many men, and even outside this context of what we're talking about in an affair, have fallen for their wives' stories of how awful her ex-boyfriends were, how awful her ex-husband was, and don't even question it. It's a story. It's a story. So the emotional connection that a married woman and a married man make from their own being miserable in their marriages is that emotional connection is a fantasy world. It's not based in reality. It's based in this fantasy of coming together and having something new and being able to relate to each other, and how sad and lonely or unhappy they are in their marriages, and create a whole other false relationship that isn't going to have a strong foundation and won't work.
I mean, of course it will never work. And the reason why it will never work, which this is actually the funniest part, man. Okay, so if you're a dude and you get ditched by a woman, please understand that she's oftentimes, like, when she goes out there and she tries to make her life better, please understand that many times these women just absolutely fail. It's very, very damn funny to watch it happen. I've seen so many women, what they'll do is they'll go out there and, like, leave their husbands, long-term boyfriends, and so on. And they think that they can trade up, right? So they have an affair with Chad. They have an affair with some attractive guy. But then what they come to realize is that, oh, this man is never going to commit to her. Okay, he's just telling her what she wants to hear. Oh, that's terrible. I'm so sorry, and such. But it'll never work out. Even if that guy is gullible enough to have a subsequent relationship with her, number one, she's going to ruin it and do the same thing to that guy anyway. But oftentimes, these women completely fail to get a relationship out of that subsequent man. It's very funny. And then they go crawling back to their husbands, crawling back to their ex-boyfriends and stuff like this. I've seen dudes get completely ditched by women. The women then go on, fail to get subsequent relationships out of the men that they were hooking up with, and then try and crawl back to that guy. And it's way funnier as well when that man becomes more successful in the meantime. So let's just say you've got a guy making like 60K a year and she leaves him because she's not happy, you know, because he doesn't earn enough money. Well, I've seen dudes go out there, make more money, and then the women just, they have no relationship, they have no man, they have no marriage, and then they see their ex-husband or ex-boyfriend now making 100K plus a year, and then they cry about it and try and message him again. It's absolutely hilarious, guys. If you go through this situation, please understand that many times women ruin their lives, and it's very damn funny. Very funny to watch. That's why a lot of guys watch my channel, by the way, is like they don't even date. They just like to watch the entertainment of what these women do to themselves.
They are in their marriages and create a whole other false relationship that isn't going to have a strong foundation and won't work. Again, we're wired different. Men make a vow, make a commitment, and mean it. As women, we say our vows, but they're empty words. There's no commitment behind it. We don't even realize what we're saying or that we're even making a commitment. We haven't thought about the long haul of a marriage. We've just thought about the wedding day.
Yep, I'll agree with this. You know, I'll agree with this. And again, guys, when I see these videos, no roasting to this particular woman, okay? I haven't watched her channel or anything like this, but I'm of the belief that many times these women actually don't care. Oftentimes, I just think that they're reading scripts of, you know, the things that men say, and then they go out here and they make YouTube channels talking about men's issues. But I'd rather they be talked about than not, I suppose, men's issues. But oftentimes, I don't really believe these people. Also, because it sounds scarily accurate. It sounds exactly like what men say. You know,
Commitment. We haven't.
Oh, and on the topic of vows as well, yeah, this is absolutely true, man. Women are oftentimes, what they're doing is they're looking at the wedding day. They're not looking at actually like being a wife or fulfilling that role, being a wife to a man, looking after a man, raising a family with him. You know, they don't, internalize the concept of what a vow actually is. Many of them just say this crap. They don't believe in vows. They don't believe in the things that they're saying. It's not about long-term commitment. It's not about unity. It's not about sacrifice. They just say these things until the payday can be gotten and she can divorce him a lot of the times. It's really sad.
Commitment. As women, we say our vows, but they're empty words. There's no commitment behind it. We don't even realize what we're saying or that we're even making a commitment. We haven't thought about the long haul of a marriage. We've just thought about the wedding day or what we want out of marriage, but don't think of what we have to do to actually make the marriage work and make it good, or what we need to do for ourselves to be happy in ourselves. And because then there's no commitment behind those vows, we can't see how our choices, such as having an affair, married man or not, affect and impact our kids, our husbands, other people.
I mean, they can see, like, they just don't care. Women are not stupid, man. They understand the social repercussions and the repercussions their actions have on people. They just don't care about it. You know, if I had $1 every single time I saw one of these single mothers with no man, okay, go out here and say that she's a great mother, like, they understand. That's why they break down and cry, by the way, is because they understand that they're not doing a good job. So they have to sit there and try and make videos of themselves on TikTok, convincing themselves, that's what the videos are really for, to convince themselves that they're actually doing a good job. They know that this stuff, you know, completely damages the man. They know that it ruins their family. They know that it tears their family apart. They don't care. You know, like they simply do not care.
Affect and impact our kids, our husbands, other people. There's just no awareness of that because we feel entitled to what we want that we think will make us happy. So the solution here, women, you've got to learn to be happy in yourself, to feel good about who you are. You need to grow up and get out of the fantasy land that your husband is supposed to make you happy, and that there's some other man out there that will make you happy. No, wherever you go, there you will be. It's you. So working on yourself to build a relationship with yourself and to be happy.
I totally agree with this, man. But here's the thing. Most women are not going to listen to this. They're not, going to actually go out there and try and work on their own inner peace, as it were, or become happy and content individuals. That's not how this works. Many women are going to completely disregard this. They don't care.
Completely ignore it.
And if they do take on this advice, the only part that they'll hear is care more about themselves, right? They'll just take it as another means to exercise narcissism. I've said this before, but many women actually take this healing journey and this self-reflection journey and task to the point of narcissism. You know, they just double down on what they want and what they feel like they deserve in life, and they conflate self-respect and boundaries with ridiculous levels of entitlement. That's usually, if women do take advice, that's usually all that it consists of, is essentially going out there, being more narcissistic, increasing your demands from men without any actual self-reflection whatsoever. But guys, we are going to be leaving today's episode there, so don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments. Make sure you guys take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next episode. Peace.
Yeah, my mom was a very abusive person, and no matter how logical I was in my arguments, she disallowed anything I had to say because I'm a man. Shh, who cares what you think? You're just a man. Who cares what you think? You're just a man. That's the way my mom was, and she was crazy. I loved my mom, but she was nuts. You know? She was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, you know? You can't say people like that most of the time. You just can't. Sorry to say it. Still got some more eggs to go. I think I left it going. We're on the breeding bonanza, so everything's kind of fast right now, so that's why I have so many extra eggs. But I already got 2 females with the mutation. I'll keep looking to see if I get lucky and get a male. I disabled the current breeder and put him aside just for now. And let me see if I can find another video here. Okay, this one
Maria.
is Women Have Ruined Dating for Everyone, Part 4. Jack Morgan, Red Leather Podcast.
Maria. All right, we sound good.
So, sis, the only dating advice you're ever going to need is date them all.
All right,
Ooh.
it's party time.
Date
Now,
everybody.
do I honestly believe
Get paid.
that women ruined, dating and long-term relationships? Not really. Kinda. A little bit. We're going to talk about it. It's going to be fun, okay? I think it's kind of both of us. Usually it's always the men's fault. Right, guys? But we're going to start this off. This dude, Lucas, sent this in on Instagram. This is probably one of the best, worst things I've ever seen, okay? There's going to be a musical number here. So, if you got the volume on, maybe you want to turn it down a little bit. But this is just kind of showing it could happen to women, too. Oh, this is beautiful. It's terrible, but it's beautiful.
Imagine you live in LA with your boyfriend and everything's going amazing till he says, babe, I want to move back to Texas to be closer to my dad.
Oh, it gets good.
So you give up half of your career, quit your improv troupe and have a goodbye party. Take off months of work, deplete your savings to pay for movers and drive to Texas. So worth it for the love of your life that wants a future with you because he said so. So you spend a month waiting for your shit to arrive and then another month moving in and building furniture and stuff, and you're so happy till he comes back from a family vacation, sits on your couch which just arrived in the mail and hands you a note that says we have nothing in common, we're incompatible. Oh no, how did I not know this?
I hope that's not copyrighted. That music is
incompatible this whole time, and that we had nothing in common for 3.5 years. How did I not notice? Wow, what a surprise. Thank you for informing me that this whole time we had nothing in common. So you back up your car wherever you can fit it, just getting your crying too hard, so we had to back it for you, and then you drive to Florida to live with your mom.
Yay. That was just kind of going to show that, you know, that sounds like, you know, everything she did for that dude, that's like what we would do for women. And then they just answer a note. Not to laugh. I'm just kind of showing that this is the, it's like a car. You know, you just trade it in. You're over it, done. We're incompatible. That was just... That video actually blew up. Let me see real fast. Hold on. Yeah. 3 million likes, 108,000 comments. It's a classic. You know, it wasn't all bad. She came up with a banger. But that was just kind of showing that it's kind of funny because it's like more something that would happen to a dude. So I don't want to just point the finger at women here. All right? Anyways, let's have some fun. But that was... How did I not notice? That was genius, dude. What was her name? Sprightly. Sprightly on Instagram. Genius, man. I gotta follow her. She's just unreal, dude. It was like, you got a good woman, you know? I could do better. It's the classic tale. But anyways, let's really kick this off, okay? We're gonna have some fun here. And a lot of this is basically like everybody's gonna end up single. Not to spoil the whole video, but we're gonna get deep. We're gonna have some fun, okay?
Don't sleep with them, but date them all. Sis, men do it all the time and the results speak for themselves.
A woman will not date a low-income earning man. Okay? Remember always, fellas, women sleep with who they want, men sleep with who they can. So you will see the pretty girl waste her youth dating the fake gangsters, drug dealers, the Pookies and Ray Rays, the Chads and Tyrones. But then she'll age and want to end up finding a better quality man.
Now that
Yes, thank you. I'll leave his info. Any YouTuber featured, I always leave their stuff down below. But like the girl was like, men do it all the time. I'm sitting here going, what? Like we just got the share spring crop of women? We just date anybody? That's really not how it works. Like that dude Robert, he said it correctly. This guy. That's the truth, what he just said. Okay? Maybe not like the dating down thing, that's a big thing with the money. But yeah, dude, like you gotta be real good looking, dude. I mean, you gotta be Slick Ricky Aioli Jr. to just get any woman you want. Come on. That's not real. That's not realistic. In my experience, I've had to go, it's been like not the 6th grade, you know, like in 6th grade, you kind of, this will make sense. When you're younger, right? In middle school or high school, your friend comes up to you and it's like, hey, Deborah thinks you're cute, dude. And you go, what? Really, you're saying, well, it looks like I'm going to go out with Deborah. I wanted Lisa, but what are you going to do? That's more along the lines of the truth of that. So, yeah, some women, they're just think guys can date whoever they want. It's really not the truth.
but then she'll age and want to end up finding a better quality man.
Now that I can no longer date down, I've realized that there really are limited to no options of men in dating apps or in real life. And you know what? I've come to a realization that that's fine. I'm no longer doing it for the plot. And if I'm gonna be single forever, I'm totally fine with that because, again, I could no longer tolerate dating down. I just can't. I can't.
And a lot of women are going to end up just single. But a lot of dudes are going to be single. Mixing and mingling, dude.
2025 dating is definitely going to be worse than 2024.
Yeah.
I went out by myself Saturday evening.
That's all she really had to say. The punchline of that was she's just going to be going out by herself a lot. But that's a big one. You know, I don't want to say women won't date a dude who makes less money than her. She kind of said it for us. Not everyone. I know a couple couples that actually the woman makes more than the guy. But here's the thing, they met in their 30s. This is going to be a big one. It's kind of like women have always held the power. They got the... You know. Come on. You guys know the deal. They pick and choose. But a lot of them, if you're in your 30s and you're a dude kind of like me who's like, yeah, I want a chick to settle down, it's gonna be hunting season because there's a lot of women out here. They're ready. They're ready. But it's up to them too, you know. It's kind of like you can't be too picky out here.
What I'm doing in 2025 to meet my husband. Never in my wildest dreams did I imagine I would be 33 and still single. Ladies, we are going to do something about this instead of sitting at home. If you are also ready to meet your husband in 2025, this is what we're gonna do.
I did not expect for all of you guys to agree with.
She didn't say anything worthwhile. She didn't say we're gonna lower our standards, we're gonna have realistic expectations. She didn't say any of those things. So I just cut her off. Anyways, back to another pretty good looking chick.
With me in my recent video about how hard it is to date, I was actually hoping for some advice. But apparently all of us are on the same boat and there's just no men out here to date. And that just like leads me to the question of why. I know I'm picky as hell. Like every one of my friends say how picky I am and how it's just like, it's gonna get me nowhere, and I get it. But I also know what I bring to the table, so I'm just like, you gotta be picky because I don't want to settle, and it's been this long, why would I settle? But what is it about these men out here that's causing all of us in the comment section to realize that we're all single? Doesn't that seem a little strange to everybody that there was so many people that were commenting that they were just single too, and they have been for many years, and it shouldn't be this hard, right? Like, where are the good men?
You know, it's got to be hard to be like extremely good looking. I'm not saying she's like the cat's tits, you know, Maria, you know, I'm not saying that. But when you're a good looking chick, that's got to be kind of difficult. And let's say you make good money too, forget it. It's got to be borderline impossible for you. Because then you got to date down in looks and in money. Or you got to throw the looks out the window and the height, all that shit. Okay? A dude could be 5'3". Maybe not. My point is she'd have to let go of a lot of stuff to find a dude. That's got to be hard for hot women. Thank God. Thank God I'm a dude.
Healthy people are getting off dating apps in 2025. And why might you ask this? Well, they don't work, right? We've never been more single as a human species in history, right? We've never had less sex in history. We've never been more alone than we are in history. And dating apps have been around for 10 years, right? So this is what healthy people have came to the conclusion that they don't work. They make dating more difficult.
Okay. Now, to answer that chick right before this guy's question, where are the good men? This guy seems like a pretty good guy. I don't know him, all right? But, come on, let's be honest here. Is this chick, I mean, unless this guy's like 6'7", right? Or 6'3". 6'3" is a good height. Women seem to really love that. Okay. Do you think this chick right here is gonna go for this dude here? She might. She might. Probably not. I mean, he went to Santa Clarita College? No way. She's like, no, it's not good enough. Golden State Warriors? No. But that's kind of where this is going.
More difficult.
Yeah, so there's plenty of good men out here. It's just, it's a double-edged sword. Let's not forget the girl in the beginning with the boyfriend who just said, we have nothing in common. It's been 3 years. I'm out. This was a comment. I used to read your guys' comments a lot, but a lot of other channels started doing it, so I just kind of said stuff it. But this dude goes, date a single mom if you are a single dad so that you can both understand how it is. Makes all the sense in the world. The Brady bunch of the link ding ding. But there's a lot of single, it's kind of normal now. But us men, we will settle for like anything. Like a lot of us will date the single mom. Although I haven't said this one in a while, but like imagine you're 28, you're 30, right? And you go to the function with your girlfriend and 2 kids that aren't yours. And you go, hey everybody, this is Jessica, my woman, and these 2 kids that are not mine. It's not something you're really stoked on. But a lot of dudes will accept that. This guy says it great. This is funny.
Accept my baggage. Accept my baggage. See, I would have never gone for a guy like you a couple years ago. But the guys I did like jacked my life up. And now I need a guy like you. And I don't really like you for real. I just know you're a good person and have resources. Yeah. Like the niggas I did like wore my ass out. They cheated on me, jacked my finances up. That's and I lie and tell people I didn't know what they were like. But I knew exactly what they were like because they were my type. And here's the crazy part. Even though I need your help, I'm going to play like I'm giving you a chance.
Sometimes
It is kind of hypocritical, though. It's like the double, double standard. There it is. It is. Like a lot of dudes will take the chick that's, not our ideal pick, but she wants us, or she wants something from us. And we're just like, okay, sign us up. So he's kind of right. It is a double trouble, double jeopardy. Anyways, girls' night.
Sometimes girls' nights will ruin your relationship.
Honestly, a girls' night out is literally just never a girls' night out.
It's never. Unfortunately, as much as we say it's a girls' night out, it's gonna end up in some deep shit. Chaos. Don't let your girls go out.
Go.
But that's kind of the reason I think a lot of cats, including me for a long time, I have a girlfriend now, we live together, but girls just kind of pop out of the bushes on me. I'm not even looking. And the next thing you know, I'm in a relationship. That's how it's always gone for me. There was a long period where I just didn't even want to worry about it. Could you imagine how exhausting it would be to have to worry if your girl's going out tonight? Who wants to live like that? But then again, you could be in the relationship for 3 years and the dude just leaves you. Happens to men all the time. Welcome to the club, ladies. Anyways, this one's funny here. Your girl used to date a dude like me. This is the best. This was hilarious.
Go show your girl me right now and be like, yo, you ever dated a dude like that? You know what she's gonna say? In my past. That's right, dog. Because your girl, she dated a dude like me at once in her life. Y'all driving around in an Escort, listening to music that scares her, dog.
Number 2. That was genius, dude. And it's true. It's true. I was never a real asshole or anything. But I skateboarded. I sold weed. I didn't go to school. I was bartending. I was out late night with the party. I don't. This guy's another level, but I'm an adult now. But it is true. I think about all the even my girl now, she's probably dated some asshole like this. And the worst part is I probably would like the guy. I'd probably be like, dude, we could be boys. Anyways, I just thought that was so funny.
Listening to music that scares her, dog.
Yeah.
Number 2, listen, married people, we pulling y'all in this too. In 2025, we need y'all to stop downplaying marriage. Y'all don't want this life. Ooh, marriage so hard. Listen, I wish I could travel by myself like you. Y'all don't want this life. No, actually, we do. And we need y'all to encourage us and tell us the good side of marriage. Not all of this rigmarole.
So, my boy just said rigmarole. Rigmarole. How do you say that? What the fuck? What does that mean? Like jibber jabber? Like nonsense or something? Oh, I gotta look this up. Rigmarole. My boy just pulled out rigmarole. Alright, rigmarole. Okay, it's Rigmarole. My spelling was way off. It is a long, rambling story or statement. She went into a long rigmarole about different jobs she's had. Okay, well, I guess this whole YouTube channel I have is just a bunch of rigmarole. But that's the funniest thing about dudes. I feel like, at least for me and my friends, most of us, we just want one chick. Just chill. That's it. I don't want to have to be on the hunt for the hunt. Who wants to do that? It's exhausting, honestly. Have you tried it? I'm serious. I couldn't even imagine the dating apps. Never even tried them. I was like, that is just way too much. I tried, what's that thing they call it, a roster? I tried that years ago. God. I had like 3 different chicks texting me. I was just going, oh my God, help. But then, you know, there's other dudes out there. It's just like, oh, I wish I had one. But that was me. You know, I just kind of was, I guess I was jaded. I feel like a lot of us are jaded. But back to Robert C. Edson, RCE. He makes a great point here. And this is really actually true. It's not that women don't want marriage or a long-term relationship. They just don't want it until they're ready. Until they want it. It's the truth.
So, the way women work in their 18 to 25, they 18 to 25, you can pretty much entice women with shiny things. 25 to 32 is where you get into that. They start to wanting, you know, they realize that, hey, all he's got's a car. He ain't going to be able to do shit for me. That's where you got to start paying the light bills. 32 and above is where this is not for every woman, but this is a good standard, a good rule of thumb. 32 and above is where they start wanting to get pregnant. They want to get settled down, so they want to have a family. That's where they start to want to have a family. That biological time clock kicks in. You know, I mean, and again, this is not for every woman. Some women mature.
I'm gonna say he's absolutely right. My girlfriend, my chick right now, she's 32. She looks at me all the time and she goes, "We're gonna have a baby." I'm not kidding. All the time. She goes, "We're gonna have one of those bowl cuts." I'm not kidding you. It's so true. Don't believe me. Believe all these women that are in their 30s that we're going to play on the rest of this video. Finding your husband in 2025.
2025 is the year that we are finding our husbands. And by finding, I mean just opening up your eyes and realizing that there's men all around you at all times. All you need to do is smile. Go out to dinner.
Look at those shades real quick. The Coke Dealer 7s. I got to join her. Dude, that get up. I mean, that's going to intimidate most men. Let's just be honest here. Let's hear her out on her advice. What was her first piece of advice? Hold on, let's back it up.
At all times. All you need to do is smile. Go out to dinner by yourself. Go talk to your gym crush. Ask him if he could help you lift up a weight. Smile at people when you're out. Go join a workout class.
Yeah. All of her advice was like, hasn't worked since 2002. Think about that. She could just smile. Could you imagine? That's my advice to you as a guy. Just smile, bro. That's my advice. Oh, they're going to be coming flocking in. Join the gym, dude. Go up to her at the gym. No, that's good, man. No, she's trying. Okay, let me get rid of these. These are just more of a joke. But that's how easy it can be for a chick. I'm not saying they're not going to get turned down. You know, if a chick just comes up to me in the gym or comes up to me at the gas station and says, "Hi, you're really cute," I'm going to be like, "Oh, thank you so much." But I kind of have a girlfriend, and she'd be pissed if we did anything. And I don't feel like it. You know what I mean? But the truth is, if a chick just walked up to me and she's pretty decent looking, I'm probably going to be like, yeah, you want to give me your information? Or that's the truth. But anyways, here's another 30-year-old. And here's another double standard right here. These next two clips. The reality of being single 30-year-old who's failed at careers and relationships, also living back with their parents. This is the double standard here.
I just feel so horrible that I'm 30 years old and I've failed my life and I have to live at home with my parents.
Yeah.
And I have not had a successful career and I don't have a boyfriend and I don't have a husband and I have to go out in the world and hear people say, oh, my husband, he does so well, he's an engineer. I hope you love your husband. My mom just came into my room and she was like, no one wants to marry someone who's messy. You have too many things. You bought too many things in Florida. And then my dad wanted to borrow my car this morning and I said no because I have Florida plates on my car. He wanted to go to a funeral and I told him no because he banged up his own car.
If she said no to her dad about going to a funeral, what do you think she's going to tell you? Yeah, that's not the point though. Here's another 30-year-old living at home, and then this will make sense.
Watch how crazy perspective is. So, I'm 30 years old. Yeah. I'm single. I live at home.
Yeah.
I just spent the last year running around trying to figure out stuff, and I'm back at home. My job is hard. All my friends are getting married and engaged, and I'm not. Life just every day feels the same somehow. Sometimes, and sometimes I'm like, what the heck am I doing? Yeah. Or I am 30 years old, you guys, and I live at home because I just spent the last year traveling around and doing whatever I wanted, meeting so many people, having so much flexibility, and now I get to live at home and try and save to buy my own place and spend this quality time with my family that I'll never have again. And I haven't met my person yet, which is so cool because I still get to fall in love for the first time with someone new, and I will just love this person and they'll be so great for me because I've just chose not to settle, and that's so exciting. And my job is hard, but it's rewarding, and I'm so lucky to have a remote job that's flexible and work with amazing people, and I believe in what we're doing, and I get to go to beautiful walks every day.
All right. The whole point about that is think about that though, right? The double standard, double trouble. Could you imagine a guy? He wouldn't care. She just said all that to him. He goes, oh, that's awesome. Because that's awesome, babe. Spend quality time. That's important. Yeah. He's just looking at her tits. He says, that's no problem. But think about this. Imagine you're the dude who's 30 years old and you're telling the chick that. He goes, no, I'm just living at home. It's quality time. I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing with my life. She's not going to go for that shit. That's the funniest part. It's beautiful, man. The women are in charge. They've always have been. I don't know what she keeps talking about. I probably should have cut this clip, but...
Because I have a healthy body, and I have an amazing community where I live that I'm working really hard to build, and... that's pretty cool, don't you think?
She's very optimistic. I don't want to sell her short. I was just I'm not making fun of her. I'm just saying imagine if that was the dude saying that. Which I'm all for. I get it. You know, it's expensive out here. I wish I had parents that I could live with. But we're going to wind this down, okay? But this is kind of what I see. A lot of these chicks or people that kind of like, I'm going to wait till the right person comes along. I feel like this is going to happen. If you're in your 40s, it's probably a big nut bust out there. Anyways, this lady's still single.
So this is for all my 40-year-old and up peeps, but are we not dating in 2025? Are we all kind of just on that? Which I'm totally fine with. This not what we're doing this year. We are about to be single, blessed, happy, and free. We're not doing this.
Before you...
In this era of everything being on the internet. People are just freely saying this stuff. How funny would it be, like, this new era of people, if it was like that same chick? Imagine if she started in her 20s on TikTok, and then it like shows the evolution, where it's like age 25 she says that same thing, age 35 says that same thing, age 45 says that same thing. That would be great. That would be good. Anyways, we're gonna wind this down with kind of like a joke, but here's back to the beginning, full circle. Money, 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 money. Yeah, this is kind of big, a big one too.
Open that app and swipe through the men that you do not find desirable, or you sit at the bar so an ugly old man can walk up to you and offer to pay for your meal and possibly your life forever. I'm going to need you ladies to try out working first. Hear me out. I am also sprinkle, sprinkle girly, but I do not advocate.
Okay, so sprinkle, sprinkle girly, I looked it up. I had to because I wasn't quite sure. I context clues, I got it, but basically it's somebody who's, they're not talking for really looks or love. It's about the money. Can you take care of me financially? Anyways, that's a big one, dude.
Took damage.
Back full circle. She'll be coming around that mountain when she comes.
For being sprinkle, sprinkle with no income. Now, if you're the type of girl that can finesse getting what you need to get immediately with no one's help, this video is not for you. If you can finesse somebody into paying your bills, this is not for you. This.
I know. Anyways, you guys leave your thoughts. Personally, I've been on both sides of the fence. I've been the dude bartending, waiting tables, you know, making $50,000 a year, which at one point was great. I mean, you're making $1,000 a week. You used to be like, I'm rich. Now you're just kind of like, I need to make $2,000 a week. But I've been the dude who, you know, chicks didn't seem to didn't care. You know what I mean? Like the money wasn't a thing. But as I've gotten older, not that they do care. It's all about the fucking money. It's kind of the truth. They don't care if you're like rich. They just want to know, like, does daddy got it to a certain extent. But it's just crazy. That's the kind of stuff. You got one, just date them all. If you're looking for a man with money. Anyways, you guys leave your thoughts. I'm tapped out. Check out the second channel or don't. Hit me up at this phone number. I don't know. I'm tapped out, dude. I'm the dating thing just drives me nuts. Anyways, good luck.
Jeez. It's a fucked up world. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the entertainment, guys. Thank you for watching. Jeez. I can't imagine having a relationship with somebody nowadays. I regret not taking the chance when I was younger and more capable. And now I'm too sick, I'm too old, and I'm too fucked up in emotional ways. But I regret not taking the chance to see what would happen. But in a way, I feel like I dodged a potential bullet. Because she was a very beautiful girl. And they tend to be very arrogant, very vain, very self-centered. And they never admit that they did something wrong. Women never admit they did something wrong. They can't make a fucking mistake. So that's the kind of people that are out there in reality. But anyway, thanks for watching.